Welcome to the Backyard Cyclist. Today, we're in the backyard. We're going to look at how to change from SPD's pedals to Speedplay pedals. Hey there, it's Brian, your Backyard Cyclist. Today we're going to put a set of Speedplay pedals on this bike because the SPD pedals aren't just cutting it for me anymore. The Speedplay pedals are double-sided and easier to get in and out of. So let's take a look at how it's done and the advantages and disadvantages of both. So what we're going to need for this is an 8mm hex key. This will go right into the back of the pedal to undo it. This pedal here doesn't have any flat spots for our wrench to fit, so we have to do it with the hex. So like I said, it'll go into the back of the pedal and we'll go backwards with it. That one is actually pretty easy. And then we just back it out. Okay. Most of your pedals will come off this way too. They'll always wind towards the back to take it off and wind towards the front to put it on. Let's get the other side done. Stick it in, go towards the back. And there you have it. Both pedals are off. Now we're going to put on the Speedplay pedals. These do have areas for a wrench to fit. I just like using the Allen key as it is. First thing we're going to do, I've already cleaned out the insides, is to put a little bit of grease. This is right side. So a little grease on the thread, and that should help it stop from rusting in place. Like we did with the other one, we go forward and then we tighten it down. And there we go. Let's get the other one done. Now these should go in really smoothly. You shouldn't have any stopping. If they do, back it out and try to do it again, because you don't want to strip the threads on your pedal or else you'll ruin them and never get to use them again. There we go. Speedplays are on. So now we've moved inside because the bugs are getting kind of annoying out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the cleats on the shoes so we can use the new Speedplay pedal system. You'll notice with the SPD-SL system there's 3 bolts and the cleat is clipped to the shoe like I showed you in the image before. So what we need to do to take this out is grab a 3mm hex, and these will just unscrew right from the shoe. There's one. There's 2. And there's 3. Now the nice thing about these cleats is that they're any-sided, if you will. You can put them on either your left foot or your right foot. You don't have to worry about where they belong. As long as you have the toe part facing forward, you're fine. And you can, it's a little bit of a pain, but you need to really move it left and right, back and forward, just to get the right position on your shoe. Most say that the center line or the center of the cleat should be right underneath the ball of your foot. But, whatever your preference is, you can certainly move it around and find out what the best position is for this. Now, the Speedplay system has 4 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you'll see my shoe has 3. So they do come with an adapter plate, which allows you to put the 4-hole bolt pattern onto your 3-hole shoe. And they do have a little shims inside just to make sure it fits to the curve of the shoe and fits nice and flat. These are connected with little Phillips head bolts. Now, similar to the SPDs, these will allow you to adjust your forward and aft movement, so you can move it forward to your, oh wow, didn't mean to go that far. You can move it forward or back as you see fit. And it's still a little tight, but that's okay. So you can move it forward, you can move it back, and get it wherever your foot is. I actually prefer to have it a little more forward than normal, as opposed to the SPD where I have that usually a little more central. Only because the pedal position and cleat position on this are really right on top of each other, so I can use this to have the pedal, or have at least the ball of my foot right over the pedal, which will hopefully give me a little better power and a little better pedal stability. So now that these are tightened, we can put on the retaining system. And you'll see these are right and left specific. So you really can't put them on the wrong way because you can only put them on to one side. But it is kind of crucial to make sure that you get everything done to the correct side. So you just line up the 4 holes. And we have our 4 screws. We're only going to use 2 of these screws because I did buy a cover for it. And the cover has its own screws to help keep it on the, keep the cover on. So I'm only going to use these 2. So with these top bolts, you can move it sideways, left and right, just to get the shoe pedal placement where you want it. Again, I'm going to go a little centered on this just to make sure that everything is neutral, and then I can adjust it from there. Get you tightened down. You tighten down, and now I can put on the cleat cover. This makes it walking around with the metal cleats a lot easier, so I'm not slipping and sliding and going all over the place. I can stick the longer screw in there. Get you tightened down. And there we go. We have the cleat and the cleat cover on, and we're ready to snap in and go ride a bike.